I ain't finna take out. Peace, Sister Julanda. Peace, brother. Our Cuba Line Unity Alliance. Y'all give me a second. Hold on, let me make this. I'm gonna get started in just a second. I ain't gonna keep y'all for about maybe a good 30 minutes. Another year. Talk about Kwanzaa for a few minutes. Oh, hold on, y'all. I know it's background. Let me know if y'all can hear me pretty good. Before I get started, let me know if y'all can hear me pretty good. What I supposed to be doing? Okay. Can y'all hear me? I'll get started when somebody let me know they can hear what I'm saying. All right, Sister Juju say I'm clear. All right. I'm gonna go on. Peace, brother Omar, Black African Power. Yeah, okay, appreciate it. All right. Give me 1 second here. We're gonna jump into it. Like I say, it's not nothing, just a small little bill, some recycled slides, some new stuff, just to get some people familiar with what Kwanzaa is, where it originated from, some other things that I talked about last year about Kwanzaa. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying. Okay. Man, I'm trying to share it real quick, but groups. Shoot, I don't forgot how to share it. Yeah, hold on. Bear with me just a second. Friends, markets, pages, memories. Y'all help me share it too, man. I don't forgot how to share the darn thing, man. That's bad. Share to the groups. Save groups. Okay. I think I got it now. I want to share to all of them at one time, though. I ain't got time for this. Y'all help me share it real quick, man, because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't forgot what I'm doing. And I ain't trying to hold y'all. I'll tell you what, I'll share it on my page real quick. And I'll just tag some people in it. John. All right. All right. Few people. John. Kaba. Sutek. Jetty. Kelly. Sophie. CK. Ben. Annie. Satel. Okay. Satel. Like I said, man, y'all give me just a second. I was trying to figure out how to post it in your group. Okay. I got it. I guess. Shoot, man. I ain't finna worry about it. Like I said, man, I'm just finna get started. Y'all just help share them in all the groups for me, man. I'm gonna get started, man. First I want to say Black African Power, ETM Hotep, Dual Aku, Dual Netcha, Fatmu Lafayette, Fatmu Iwa Riwi, Majuba Iba E Gungun, Majuba Iba E Lakba. I always want to give honor and praises to the ancestors, because without the ancestors, we wouldn't be here. We are our ancestors. I also want to give honor and praises to the true and living ancestors out there according to African traditions and African perspectives and African way of life. There's not many elders or true elders in the conscious community. Just because you are older than me does not make you my elder. But again, uh, peace to everyone. Thank you for tuning in. A few that's tuning in, I know this is a national holiday and some people are out with their family, which is cool. I just wanted to touch real briefly and real quickly back on Kwanzaa, because there are still people that don't know what Kwanzaa excuse me, what Kwanzaa is. So we're gonna run through Kwanzaa real quick about Kwanzaa. Even last year I made this is my third year doing the Kwanzaa. I want to try to do it every year, continue to talk about Kwanzaa, educate people about uh Kwanzaa. Also, I did the first one year for last, and then last year I did the Kwanzaa, and I related it to actually Kwanzaa is a African tradition. We know that Kwanzaa was uh, recognized or reinvented in the United States, and we'll get into who reinvented it. It is an African tradition. It was observed by this individual who created. But we'll get into all of that in a few minutes. Again, peace to the family, peace to those out there that's tuning in to see what I gotta say for a few minutes. I got Brother Vasa Nicolo on the panel. Brother Vasa, you got anything to say before I jump into this real quick?
No, not at the moment, other than peace to everybody and hope you're enjoying your family time with each other. Jump back to mute. I did, before you sent this, I wasn't gonna really do anything on Facebook, but I shared a couple of passages from a Kwanzaa book that I have on my page. I might dig that up and reiterate those here.
Okay.
Or hey, if you got a way to kind of pull them up and we want to read them live on this, we can do that as well. I'm making my kids something to eat, so.
Okay, that's fine. But I'm quite sure I got them in these slides. I don't have that many slides. Just to reiterate some things and then talk about some stuff. That's why it's called part 1, part 2, and part 3. I did a part 1, part 2. This is part 3. So each year I want to try to bring a little bit of something else different that they may not, that they may not be familiar with. Like last year year for last, I just brung just the basics of what Kwanzaa is. Last year I did something I implemented and brung in the names and the ethnic groups from Africa who actually did Kwanzaa, but it was celebrated by other names, which I did give the names, and I'll give the names on this small little presentation as well. But let me share my screen, man, and hold on, let me see something, and we'll jump in. I got hold on, I got brother Nahisa. Peace, brother Nahisa. Brother Nahisa.
While we waiting, can I throw this book out there, KOFI?
Yeah, hold on. Brother Nahisa. He might have walked away, but go ahead.
Go ahead. What's up, bro?
What's up? Now I would just recognize you, man. Recognize you, man, and see if you got anything to say, man, letting people know that you are on the panel.
Nah, I'm just tuning in, man, trying to catch up with everything. I've been MIA for a while.
Yeah. Well, glad to see you, man. Brother Vasa, you got something? You say you had what now?
You know me, I like to always try to throw out at least one book on subjects if I got one. This book is called Kwanzaa, From Holiday to Everyday, a complete guide for making Kwanzaa a part of your life. When I get my hands free, I'm gonna put it in the YouTube chat if I got enough time, and if not, I'll just tag it to everybody that we know from here.
Okay, repeat that book again.
Kwanzaa, from holiday to everyday life, a guide for making Kwanzaa a part of your life. When I go to mute, I'm gonna have my daughter typing in the YouTube chat so I can make sure it gets done. All right.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna share my screen, man, and we're gonna jump into a really quick presentation. Like I said, this is part 3, but it's actually part 1, part 2, and part 3. So recycle slides, some new slides, just reiterating to people that may not know what Kwanzaa is, and Kwanzaa is a African tradition. I will show some of those things. We will break down what Kwanzaa is, how it is celebrated over here, how it has been celebrated in Africa. But let's let me share. Let me shoot. Hold on. Let me share my screen. Okay. Um, Let me look on here. Start. Let me know if I'm a screen sharing.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into it. All right. Today's presentation is called. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this off of here. Was this in my way? I don't know why it's up here today like that. Hold on. Resume sharing. Damn. Am I still sharing? I hope I didn't click off of it. I'm still good.
Yeah, you sharing, but it's not the full screen. You see the whole.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Appreciate it. I'm gonna go back to the full screen. All right. I'm gonna turn my camera off too. So, hold on. I see one more chat. Okay. There's somebody else. All right. Again, this presentation, small presentation, not gonna hold y'all but 30 minutes. Kwanzaa is coming, and Kwanzaa is not a Black Christmas. Each year I do these things. They're titled a little bit different. I bring a little bit more information every year. So this one is called Kwanzaa is coming. We know Kwanzaa is tomorrow. Kwanzaa goes from December the 26th to January the 1st. So Kwanzaa is coming, and Kwanzaa is not a Black Christmas. A lot of people think Kwanzaa is a substitute for Christmas. So it is not a Black Christmas. All right. Okay. I always had to put a disclaimer out here before I get started. I am not a teacher, but merely a student sharing information, and that information provided is for the educational purpose only. And if you are in doubt, do the research and have it verified by someone qualified. I reserve the right to change the focus of this presentation, change the terms use at my own discretion. All trademark, design rights, copyrights, registered names, models, logos, avatars, or sigmas or marks used or cited by this website or the property of its respective owners. I reserve the right to add information as it comes available, or adapt changes or improve information as it comes available in the future. Inputs wanted, changes, additions, deletions are encouraged. So I always have to put a disclaimer out there before I get started. And again, I have no problem with anyone critiquing my information. If I make an error or fault, I have no problem with someone coming to me, as long as they come to me with some sense. I have no problem with listening. I have no problem with changing my information. I have no problem with improving my information. So I always have to put a disclaimer out there before I get started. Everybody that follows me know this is my saying. I believe this is a powerful saying. As I learn, we all learn. Here is my new saying, let's get this culture. So today, let's get some of this culture. Now, what is Kwanzaa? Some people may know what Kwanzaa is. Some people may not know what Kwanzaa is. Again, when I present information, it is for those that may know, that may need a refresher, and it may be for those that may not know. People, a lot of from around my area, a lot of people still don't know what Kwanzaa is, or absolute what Kwanzaa is, or think it's a replacement for Christmas. So this is why every year I want to talk about Kwanzaa and reiterate some things and touch on a few things, or look at some things that people may not have looked at. So again, what is Kwanzaa? Kwanzaa is a 7-day festival. It is the first fruit of the reestablishment of the African tradition. I'll read that again. Kwanzaa is the 7-day festival and is the first fruit. It's the first fruit. It is the reestablishment of the African tradition, which expresses itself in many forms at different times as celebrations of the harvest of the first crop. In some parts of Africa, it was celebrated for 40 days. In other places, 2 weeks. Some places for months. But for the majority of the places on around the continent, it seems to have been celebrated 7 days. So we know over here, it is celebrated for 7 days. On the continent, may be celebrated for 40 days. It may be celebrated for 7 days. It may be celebrated for a month. And with this that slide along, it lets you know, and we're gonna go a little bit further because we're gonna show and prove, but it is not a tradition that was established in the United States. It was a tradition that was observed by a certain individual, uh, and he brung it over here, renamed it, which I'm gonna show you different names that it go by. We'll get a definition of Kwanzaa in a minute. So now we know that it is celebrated in Africa, and it is celebrated some, again, is 40 days, some a month, some 2 weeks, some 7 days. All right, before I go any further in this presentation, I want to state Kwanzaa is not a Black Christmas. It was never intended to be. Again, it is not a Black Christmas. Kwanzaa is not the substitute for Christmas. The very ideal of Kwanzaa was practiced way before Christmas or the Christmas invention. And yes, Christmas was an invention. We think that most people think that Christmas is a celebration for the birthday of Jesus Christ, where there are many different dates um, surrounding this individual birth, and it is not December the 25th, but that's a whole nother story. Kwanzaa means first fruit or first crop. Again, Kwanzaa means first fruit or first crop. So keep those in hand for people that may not know what Kwanzaa means. Kwanzaa means first fruit or the first crop. KOFI PIESIE, what do you mean the very ideal of Kwanzaa was practiced way before a Christmas invention? Okay, let's talk about it. The celebration of the first fruit was a time the heroes of African people, a session which projected the beauty of our culture. It was a time of celebrating the sheer enjoyment of the fact we were alive and able to work together to harvest good crops that year and build a great tribe or great nation wherever we were. Now the spirit of Kwanzaa meant when it was created in the early 90s, and that was it means to us right. So again, Kwanzaa means first fruit. So we celebrated, or our ancestors and those that are on the continent of Africa today, they celebrate first fruit. They go and they get together. Certain tribes, clans get together and they go out and they plant things. They plant things, so they work together. You know what I'm saying? They work together in order to benefit or reap at the end of the year what they have put in the ground or what they have produced. So they working together in unity. So they are celebrating their first crop or their first harvest. They are celebrating what they have produced, what they have got back from the hard work that they have put in from the harvest. So again, Kwanzaa means first fruit, and that's all it means. First fruit is some type of festival or celebration. We symbolically do those things over here, and we'll go through that a little bit later. Over there, they do celebrations. They may celebrate 40 days. They may celebrate a month. They may celebrate 2 weeks. They may celebrate 7 days. It just all depends on what tribe, clan, or what area of Africa you may particularly be in. But it's nothing but a celebration for what they have produced, or what they are, a celebration from what they have reaped from the harvest that they have planted together. Kwanzaa is a new African celebration. It is a time when Black people come together to give thanks and enjoyment, blessings, and living and acting together. Kwanzaa is distinctly a new African holiday that is rooted in several different African harvest festivals. I'm gonna read that again. Kwanzaa is distinctly a new African holiday that is rooted in several different African harvest festivals. So again, as I stated from the previous slide, it is those different tribes, clans that comes together and put in some hard work, and then they reap the benefits from the harvest. So they are celebrating what they are celebrating their hard work. They are celebrating they're celebrating their first fruit or their first crops from the harvest. So family, you find Swahili used frequently in the Black community because most of us in the Western Hemisphere do not exactly knows which tribe we come from. Therefore, Swahili is a practical African language for us to embrace because it is a non-tribal trade language. Yes, this is a franco lingua for different ethnic groups, or it is a trade language. One may speak another language, one may speak another language. So they can come together and speak this bridge language, this trade language to understand each other. Kwanzaa is a resurrection of a traditional African celebration that is recognized the importance of working together in harvest. As I keep throughout the slide, them coming together in unity, and in harmony. No one is bickering. No one is on the nigga shit. No one is talking about each other. No one is backbiting each other. They are coming together for one common goal, working together and harvesting the first fruit. This holiday is from no particular geographical boundary on the continent. It is the kind of celebration that was common to most African societies through the names would be as varied as many languages that are spoken on the continent. Several African people celebrate such a first harvest festival. Among these are the Kamba and the Kikuyu of Kenya. The Kamba call their harvest festival Nagata, and the Igombono is the first fruit feast celebrated by the Kikuyu. The Kisu of Uganda offer their first fruit to the creator before anyone tastes them in the celebration called Impalu. The Nigerian is Kataba, celebrated their harvest by having the senior male of each household offer thanks for their yearly support of food. So there you have a few groups that celebrate what we call in Kwanzaa over here, but it's nothing but a celebration or a festival put together to celebrate what they celebrate their hard work, their unity, and what they have produced, their first crop or their first fruit. And again, I'll read that several African people celebrated the first harvest festivals. Among those are the Kemba, and the Kikuyu of Kenya. The Kemba called their harvest festival Negata. They call their festival Nagata. And the Igono Bono is the first fruit feast celebrated by the Kikuyu. So there's another name. The Kisu of Uganda offered their first fruit to the creator before anyone tastes them in the celebration called the Impalu. Then in Nigeria, it is called the Kataba, celebrated their harvest by having the senior male of each household offer thanks for their yearly supply of food. So there you kind of see where he kind of pulls some of those ideals from these certain ethnic groups. And I'm not sure which ethnic group he pulled or he observed those different festivals where they were celebrating their first fruit or their first crop. But these are some of the names and some of the ethnic groups in Africa, their names and how they celebrate and what they do. And you can see how those traditions are incorporated into what we call in Kwanzaa over here in the United States. Okay, first fruit. This is in Southern Africa. The first fruit festival of the Ngunu people is in Southern Africa. The Khoisan, the Zulu, the Ndebele, and the Swazi people are a type of sacrificial ceremonies of giving the first fruit and the harvest to God. are the gods who are believed to be responsible for the abundance of food. So here in South Africa, when we dealing with the first fruit, and again, what we call Kwanzaa over here is not, it doesn't mean nothing but first fruit. So you can see in South Africa, the Khoisan, the Zulu, the Nanibali, and the Ngunu people and the Swazi people, before they celebrate and they sacrifice, so they have a sacrifice ceremony, which it may be a lamb, it may be a goat, it may be a sheep, it may be a chicken, where they may sacrifice something to the supreme deity, or they may sacrifice something to the lesser deities. You see here it says the harvest of God or the gods. We know in most African traditions, majority all of them, um, you have a supreme being, and then you have uh, lesser deities, like in the Nigerian culture. In Ifa, you may have Oleron or Odemari, which is one and the same, but in different Odus, they may speak with them different. Olemari may represent one role, Odemari may represent another role, but they are one and the same. Then you have the lesser deities, which may be the Orishas. The same thing when you go to the Akun, the Akan system with the Akun, the deity, maybe Iyami, and then you may have the lesser deities, maybe the Akun. So each African tradition have the supreme deity and the lesser deity. So the people in South Africa, the Khoisan, the Zulu, and the Ninibi, the Swazi people, the Nguni, they make a sacrifice to the lesser deity, or to their deity or the lesser deities, you know what I'm saying? Because they believe they are responsible for the abundance of food that they have produced, you know what I'm saying, through the harvest. It was performed by the high priest of the kingdom, and the king was always in attendance. Traditional in marks of time of perspective and the good harvest experienced after the seasonal agriculture period. It is also brought to the nation together, unifying it at a time of merry making and squashing fears and famine. And I wish we could adapt this more when we talk about coming, which we're going to get into those principles in a minute, but some of those principles are, one of the principles are unity. And we could accomplish a lot like a lot of these ethnic groups in Africa accomplished if we came together in unity, put all the foolishness and the BS and the big egos to the side and come together for a common cause. You know what I'm saying? We can produce, produce things. We can celebrate the things that we produce, but we have a problem with putting the stuff to the side and coming together in harmony and in unity to actually accomplish something that we need to accomplish for our own survival. It is also brought to the nation together, unifying it at a time of merrymaking and squashing fears and famine. The tradition is still practiced mainly in the kingdom of KwaZulu, Natal, and Swaziland. These ceremonies are headed by the kings and the tribes, namely the King Mswati, and the third in Swaziland celebrated the Inkwala, and King Goodwill Zoweti, or Zowethini, I think, excuse me for the mispronunciations, of the Zulu nation celebrated as Unkosi or Wawashima. And again, excuse me because I'm turning some of these words up. So there you see it with the names of some of the festivals dealing with some of these groups in South Africa as well. I deal with East Africa a while ago. We deal with South Africa there. So you can see with those two particular regions, South Africa and East Africa, they do have these festivals that are called first fruit. Who discovered the festival of the first fruit in the United States? So let's get into who discovered. Again, I know most of us may know who rediscovered some of these traditions that they have been practicing in Africa way before we get to an invention of Christmas. But Malarangaran Karinga rediscovered the festival of the first fruit, and it says rediscovered. Didn't say he made it up. He rediscovered it by observing some of those festivals in Africa. And I showed you and gave you the names of the people in East Africa and some of the people in South Africa, gave you the names and how they go about celebrating their first fruit. First fruit, and put it into the new African perspective. Again, rediscovered the festival of the first fruit and put it into the new African perspectives. Somebody want to mute the mic?
Yeah, I did. While you here, I'm still busy, but I typed it in the chat since you mentioned and rediscovered, didn't invent. Notice the name in the YouTube chat, Lois Foucher and her husband, Michael Bowen. As a young student, he witnessed them doing this festival in their living room, and that's what inspired him to push this forward.
Right.
I gotta get back to going with the kids, but
yeah,
I put that in the chat for everybody.
Yep. That's a fact. That's a fact. We talked about this last year offline after I did the other one. Is Kwanzaa a true African tradition? For those that may want to look at that part too, you can go, or actually on this channel, I did part 1 on KOFI PIESIE TV. So if you want to look at part 1, you can go to KOFI PIESIE TV and check out part 1. Part 2, you can go to Mossy Warrior Clan channel and check out part 2. And today I'm doing part 3, actually part 1, part 2, and 3. I infused some, again, some of these are recycled slides with some new slides added into it. But if you want to go and follow part 1, part 2, and then come back to this one later, that's fine. That's fine. Also, I'm going to try to do these every year. But it's first fruit into the new African perspective, then organize the first Kwanzaa celebration in the San Diego-based organization in 1966. The whole ideal, according to Brother Karinga, was to create awareness and appreciation among the U.S. Blacks for their own cultural heritage. Brother Karinga further stated, when we celebrate our own holidays, it shows we speak for ourselves rather than others speaking for us. Karinga has since watched in the observation becomes accepted in the Black community of major metropolitan areas across the country, and does not himself claim to credit for nurturing its growth and rapid spread through the 60s up until now. Yes, it started out slow when he first started it here. It started out slow. It was a particular area where he was at, I think at another area, and then later on it gradually began to spread. More events start to take place where you start to see it start to become a town thing where the town start to celebrate celebrate the first fruit festival every year, where the town come together, like here where I'm at in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. They does something every year. Jackson, Mississippi, the town, it does something. So every day it starts tomorrow. So you can go tomorrow to the festival, drive up for the festival. You can see it. You can see the first, which we'll get into the principles, certain things. That go on that they do with the certain festivals, and but you don't have to go to a festival. You can also incorporate and you can celebrate the first fruits inside your home. And we'll get into some of the things that, if you want to celebrate some of the things, if you that you need, if you want to start celebrating in the house, or some of the things that you may see if you hadn't been to our Kwanzaa festival all 7 days, or either just 1 or 2 days. Because I know some people's schedule are different than others. Some may not be able to make the whole 7 days. Some may not be able to make but 1 day. Okay. But the U.S. Black, their own culture heritage, Brother Karinga further stated, when we celebrate our own holiday, it shows we speak for ourselves rather than others speaking for us. Karinga has since watched an observation becomes accepted in the Black community as a major metropolis area across the country, and does not himself claim to credit and nurturing its growth and rapid spread through the late 60s up until now. As to how the Kwanzaa, which means first, it is part of the phrase fruit became Kwanzaa. Brother Karinga says he deliberately changed the spelling, and for good reasons. After the very recent observation in the 1960s, he explained that 7 children, the number of the children in the organization at the time, wanted to present a short pageant, and each wanted to represent 1 day, 1 principle, and 1 letter of the holiday. We show where our priorities are, Brother Karinga said, by placing people before formalities and added 1 letter. The modifying spelling also served to distinguish the African in America nature of the celebration from the purely African one. So again, in Swahili, Kwanzaa means first, and it is part of the phrase Matunda ya Kwanzaa, which means first fruit became Kwanzaa. So I mean became. So it was through this organization that he had with a number of children, as the slide stated, and it was 7 children. So each one would present something at this pageant. So he added another letter, which is A. So, and to make it distinguish again the African American nature celebration from purely the African one in Africa. So this is how it became Kwanzaa with another letter added on it due to the several children that he had in this organization. The 7 beautiful days of Kwanzaa are celebrated between December the 26th, which Kwanzaa starts tomorrow. And again, it goes through January the 1st each year. These days coincide with the European Christmas season. There are the logical reason why Mulanga Ron Karinga chose these days for the celebration of Kwanzaa. And it's just simple. I mean, but I'll go through them, but we all know why it was around this way. I mean, one reason is simple reason is we know this Christmas is a national holiday, and a lot of us have a few days off around the Christmas holiday. Some of us are jobs are shut off for a week. Some of our jobs are shut off for 2 weeks. Some of us have a few days off. So it's the best time to organize and make this around the same time as that's why a lot of people get Kwanzaa mixed up as a substitution for Black Christmas when it's not. And again, Kwanzaa or first fruit festivals was been celebrated way before the invention of the Christmas invention. But first, from the immoral, it seems that it means religions have a celebrations around this period, winter solstice. The second, instead, and we know a lot of traditions when we talk about the winter solstice, you know, a lot of the African traditions, they celebrate, you know, the different seasons, or they celebrate they just celebrate the different seasons, winter solstice. Second is, instead of telling our people they should stop celebrating, excuse some of the typos that I may have on here, instead of telling our people they should stop celebrating Christmas and leaving it at that, those of us who have delved deeply into and continue to search the ocean depth of Black historical knowledge understand well that it would be realistic to assume that Christmas holiday season could be completely obliterated in these days and times, since presently there are so many psychological traps set about for these masses, which motivates them to celebrate during this season, which is, you know, which is true. And I got caught up a little bit this year, but you know, and people know me. Um, you know, I'm all about, you know, I'm African centered. You know what I'm saying? I look at things from an African perspective, and it's been years and years and years for me celebrating Christmas. I still don't celebrate Christmas, but my family celebrates. I have a 13-year-old son. He celebrates Christmas. I have a 20-year-old stepdaughter. She celebrates Christmas. I have a 8-year-old stepdaughter. She celebrates Christmas. I have a fiance who celebrates Christmas. The majority of my family members celebrate Christmas. Someone
Hey,
got something?
yeah, Kofi, while you was talking there, just so people get an understanding that you can still have your religious practice and a love for your people.
Yes.
That Lois Fulcher,
Mhm.
I'm away from everything to go off memory, but she lived her life as a Christian, but she wanted to know the truth about her reality. And that's what led to her going through those festivities in her home, was just seeking truth, but she still wanted to love and know the truth about her people. I just wanted to add that in. And
Right,
that's
right.
what inspired Karinga to do what he did and take it a step further, and leads us to where we are now. I just wanted
Mhm.
to throw that in.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, even if you go to Jackson, you go to Jackson, up here, you go to Jackson, Mississippi, up here they do the festivals. I mean, you have Christians that celebrate in the festival. You have people in the Nation of Islam. You know, they're celebrating in the festival. So, you know, they may take part in the Christmas activities, and they may take part and the first fruit festivals as well. I don't knock either one. You know, I'm not militant as I used to be. I don't separate myself from. I used to separate myself from the family around the holidays because I don't want them telling me to come and celebrate with them. But I love my family. I don't knock them for doing for what what they do. And I may not take part in all the things, but I do go out now and and try to participate and and that's fellowship and eating and go see some people that I may not have seen before. So, nothing wrong with that. Third, December the 26th, the third December the 26th through January 1st is the period in which most people are given time off, which I explained a while ago, from work to celebrate. These are some of the practical realities that had to be taken to consideration in setting the dates of Kwanzaa, because we know that again, around the national holiday, we got Christmas, and then we have the first of the year, the New Year. The New Year is starting. So again, a lot of us may be off for work around those particular dates, so it was a great opportunity to place Kwanzaa around this holiday, Christmas and the New Year, because a lot of our people will be off on those days from work. All right, the celebration of Kwanzaa revolves around the seven social and spiritual traditions of the Nguzo Saba, which means seven principles of the Black value system. One is unity. I talked about unity a while ago. That's why I say I wish a lot of us put a lot of our differences to the side, put a lot of our big egos, throw away those big egos that we have, and come together in unity and harmony and work together like some of those African traditions that I showed you in East Africa and South Africa, that actually celebrate their hard work, their unity, and them coming together and reaping the benefits from the harvest. You know what I'm saying? Reaping the benefits from what they have produced, their first crops, their first fruits. So first is unity. We'll get into the Swahili word in a minute, and we'll break it down a little bit in a minute. But let's just go through what we got here. One, we have unity, which will be the first day. So tomorrow will be unity. We'll go over the Swahili word for that in a meeting, in a minute. The second day will be self-determination, because again, Kwanzaa are celebrated here 7 days, and on the continent, you have traditions that may do their first fruit festival may last 40 days. You may have some that may last a month. You may have festivals that may go for 2 weeks. You may have a festival for them celebrate may go for 7 days. And again, we incorporated the 7 days here, but it was due to an organization um, that Karinga had with those children setting that pageant on and want to participate and do something each day. So he added an uh, extra day. So you get self-determination. The third day, you get collective work. Fourth day, you get cooperative economics. And please pay attention to these Nguzo Sabas, which means seven principles. Just pay attention to them. Unity, self-determination. Two, three, collective works. Four, which is the fourth day, cooperative economics. That is something that I specifically, and I also 2 years ago, I want you to go check out on KOFI PIESIE. I did a presentation called Cooperative Economics and how important it is as us as a people to practice cooperative economics amongst each other. So go check out that presentation as well on KOFI PIESIE TV. Number five, which is the fifth day, you got purpose. Number six, you got creativity. Number seven, you have faith. Vasa, you got your hand raised. What you go ahead?
Finish first. I don't want to cut you, but you right where my favorite part of the book is. I was going to wait to the end and read these passages, but finish these so I don't kill the vibe. But if you don't mind, I would like to read this page because it's right on time with where you're at.
All right. I just hope what your page is ain't finna destroy my. I mean, well, not destroy, but I mean, I bet you finna talk about exactly what I'm finna talk about on this slide. But you go into it though. It don't make no difference. But each
No,
principle, now you
this
can do it. It's
not
cool.
this is right around, you know, the term Ujima and
Yeah,
unity and
right,
all
right. Cause
that. So I
yeah,
want to stay right there.
yeah, because that's what I wanted to go into next. I actually was gonna get a Swahili words for these, but we will go into it. Each principle emphasized on a different day. Kwanzaa, accompanied by the lighting of a candle representing a principle for a day and the discussion of the meaning of the principle. So here you can see this lady here on this side, and she is actually lighting the second candle. So Kwanzaa again is celebrated several days. Tomorrow starts the first day, and we'll let I'll let Vasa read what he has, and he's probably gonna go over the Swahili words, and then I'll come back and reiterate them on that, and we'll get into what she's actually doing and what these are actually called, and the different colors throughout the presentation. But each principle emphasizes a different day. Kwanzaa, accompanied by the lighting of a candle representing a principle for a day and discussion and meaning of the principle. So each day you will light a different candle. So she's on the second day. You can see she is lighting the second candle today. And you know, you have family members again, because you can celebrate this. You can go to the festivals if your town does a town festival, or you can celebrate this inside of your home. And each day you have a discussion with your family surrounding what principle it is of today. Go ahead, boss, and I'll go into the next slide after you get through reading.
Yeah, I was gonna say that might work because it'll allow you to get your slides on time with the viewers as well.
Mhm.
And y'all have to forgive me. It's gonna be kind of wordy, but I think it's just so important. It says, refuse to support businesses or industries that disrespect you, misrepresent your interests, or take your patronage for granted, be they black owned or other. Don't finance misogyny, criminality, or buffoonery or depravity, and then wonder why things aren't getting better. Don't try to buy self esteem. It is not for sale. No amount of bling, arm candy, auto candy, overpriced clothes, or a high roller gift given will compensate for the damage done to a people told they weren't valuable or beautiful enough just as God made them. Some of us have additional injury inflicted by abusive or incompetent parents. If you need therapy, spend some money on that. And if you can't afford it, join a support group or buy self-help books before allowing debt to ruin you. Don't listen to people who say Ujima is an idea whose time has come and gone. They wouldn't go into Chinatown or a hadistic neighborhood, for example, and tell the residents that patronizing one another's business is passe. Neither do they offer proven alternatives for achieving the quality of self sufficiency that these communities enjoy. Feel a sense of urgency. In many areas, our children cannot find employment where they live, or as they grow older, rent an apartment in the neighborhood in which they are raised, refuse to contribute to the marginalization of your people through willful ignorance of the effects of this economic decision. This is the part I kind of like the most because it seems like something we struggle with right now. It says, don't hate, not your friend for having more, yourself for not having enough, your neighbor for having less. Don't resent Oprah, even if you disagree with how she chooses to use her formidable wealth and clout. Hate is poisonous, even belittling, and resentment non-productive. Love instead. Love your potential to advance, love your friend, and love your friend for encouraging you, your family for supporting you, and your community for investing in you. And if you happen to be employed by a Black owned business, give it that 110%. If you are a business owner, broaden your reach. Research the many opportunities available to do business with other people of African descent, be they suppliers, distributors, or service providers, doing business in East Africa, England, or around the corner from your house. And then I'll chime out, Kofi, and let you take over. Did we lose you, Kofi?
I'm still here. Did we lose him?
I don't know. Did the Grinch get Kofi, y'all? Kofi. Kofi doing some Santa Claus stuff.
No, I'm back. No, I'm
going
back.
down somebody's chimney right now.
Oh no, I'm back. I'm back. My cousin just came and knocked on the door. I just let her in. She came. So yeah, but I heard of most of what you were saying, but did you break down what you saying? Because you were saying some powerful and key points in what you was reading a few minutes ago about overspending, and because I kind of talked about that a little bit in my cooperative economics presentation, how during this time we go out and spend money that we don't have, or we let these commercials and certain things entice us to spend money that we don't have and go into debt. So
now,
I mean, you go
now
ahead.
Kofi, I ain't trying to be funny. You know I'm Baby Longwind. Do you really want to open that can right now?
No, not right now.
Yeah, let's get the show done.
Yeah.
I don't want to steal your light. This is about you. I'm just trying to help. So
yeah, let's go into the next one. Now we'll go into let's define and walk through the Nguzo Saba, the 7 principles of the black value system. So again, Nguzo Saba only means the 7 principles. Those are the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. I read them a while ago, which was, again, I'll go back real quick. Unity, self-determination, collective work, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. Now let's go into the Nguzo Sabas. Let's go into the, let's just walk through them real quick. You got how you pronounce that again? Because I'm finna tear all these words up. Uma, which means unity, to strive for and to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. Again, I'll read that: to strive for and to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. These are things that I was talking about a while ago that I wish we would come together in unity, and we can maintain these in our families, our communities, and in our nation, in our race. I think we will go a whole lot farther. We'll be able to accomplish a lot of things and celebrate a lot of things of the hard work that we have put in together. But we can't produce anything if we don't come together in unity. And that's a problem that we are having today, is just coming together, man, and working out our issues, man, and coming together for one common cause, man. The next one is, I can't even pronounce that. You know what that and I always tear it up, man, every time I do it. I had my little thing the last show I did last year where I was able to pronounce them good, but I'll try Kijagulu, which means self-determination. It is to define ourselves, name ourselves, create ourselves, and speak for ourselves. This is something that we walk around, we let other people define who we are. We let people call us colored, we let people call us black, we let people call us African American, we let people call us by what they want to call us by. We let them identify us by what they want to identify us by, and we good with it. We let them define who we are, and we good with it. And we actually buy into some of the things. Nigger is one another words that they created for us, and we buy into that term, and we actually live it out. So again, it means to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves. And again, create, which is the most important thing, but we can't create anything if we don't come together in unity. We don't come together in harmony. If we don't come together, work out our issues, come up with some collective goal, a common goal, and get out there. Ujima is the third. It's collective works and responsibility. Collective works and responsibility is what it means to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters problems our problems and solve them together. This is something that we have been far removed from in the black community. I'll say the black community. Far removed from, because even this is, if you look at Kofi Paisa TV, or you look at Masi Warrior Clan YouTube channel, we talk about African culture a lot. So we talk about those different ethnic groups, and we deal with all different regions in Africa. And we see in a lot of the cultures, they deal with tribal, they deal with clans and so forth. So if it's someone's problem, it's not, we don't say, man, that's their problem. In that community and in the culture that we come from, everybody's problem is our problem. We come up with a solution to fix the problem. So it's not just on one person. If you hurting, we all hurting. So we have to come up with something to stop the hurt, to stop the pain, and etc. But we have come far removed from each other, where we don't want to deal with nobody else's problem but our problems, or we don't even want to, see about our own. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't want to see about others but our own or ourselves. We have become a very selfish people. And that is another reason why we are stagnant and we can't build something. If I'm able to build something, I want to keep it to myself. I don't want to be able to pass it down to somebody in my community, or come back and show them, or come back and even build in my community. A lot of us work hard, we get it, and we think coming up is leaving our community, the very community that actually helped us. We leave that and we go somewhere else where people don't even really want us in their neighborhoods or in their communities or even in their fields. So again, it is to build and maintain our communities together, and again, build and maintain our communities together. We don't even have anything in our own communities. We have the Arabs in our communities. We have the Indians in our community. They are building in our community. They are passing generational wealth down from one generation to the next. They are getting rich in our community. So we need to come together and build and maintain our communities together. Make our brothers and sisters problem our problems and solve them together. Ujamaa cooperative economics. That is cooperative economics, to build and maintain our own stores, shop, and businesses, and to profit from them together. This is something that I see lacking in the community. I also gave a bunch of stats from different places with the dollar in the black community, or how long it circulates in our community, how long the dollar bill circulates in the Jewish community, how many times that dollar bill circulates in the Asian community over here, how many dollars circulate in the Korean community, the Pakistani community over here, because it is a molting mixing pot over here in the United States, and everybody is benefiting but us. I in that presentation, cooperative economics, I show you different stats from different corporations on how fast the dollar bill is going out of the community, or how many times it's circulating in the black community and these other communities that I just named. So, and when we do build something in our own neighborhoods, we don't want to go patronize that store. We rather go and spend our money somewhere with somebody that doesn't look like us, that already has wealth and is going to continue to pass generational wealth down from one generation to the next, or they great grandchilds are already rich before they even come out of the room. So this is something that we need to learn to patronize our own black businesses. If it don't matter if we have to order offline, if we have to drive an hour and a half to get what we need to get, but we want to be so convenient, we'll drive right over here to somebody that may spit in our food, that may speak in another language and call you all kind of derogatory names, and may look at you, in a negative light, following you around the stores, thinking you're finna steal something out the store, so etc. So again, building and maintaining our own stores, shopping and with other businesses and profiting from them together, you know, and by profiting from that together is, I may own a grocery store, Vasa may own a farm,
A library.
Okay, a library, and Nahisi may own a farm. We are patronizing each other business. I may get my groceries from uh Nahisi. I may go to his farm and buy groceries directly, or buy food directly from him. I may want to learn certain things or look up certain things, so I may go and patronize Brother Vasa business for books, for information. His family's going to get hungry, so his family's going to be able uh, to come and buy groceries from me, and I'll still be able to support myself and support Vasa, and then be able to support Nahisi, because I'm going to need to replenish the groceries that I have sold out of my store. So it's about circulating a dollar, patronizing each other business, passing a dollar bill from one to another. Naya, which means purpose. This is the one for the fourth day, to make collective vocational and to build development of the community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness, to make a collective vocation to the building and development of our community, and more beautiful the beneficials there we inherit it. Imani, which means fate. No. I don't skip one. Kuamba, which means creativity, to do all as much as we can in a way we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited. That's right. We need to continue to add on to our community, to continue to build on to our community, continue to pass something that's worth something down to the next generation. Imani, which means faith, to believe with all our hearts and our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and the victory of our struggle. I believe in this, but I don't, everybody is not a teacher. Everybody is not a parent. Everybody is not a good person. Everybody is not a leader. Everybody is not a righteous person. So you just have to be careful with who you call your teacher, who you call your leader, who you call righteous, who you call your elder, and etc. Because a lot of these cats that I see, not only just cats, females as well, they are not leaders in our community. They are not, they are not teachers, you know. But anyway, those are the seven principles. Here, greetings. Each day, the Kwanzaa represents one of the seven principles. Again, I just read off those seven principles. The Nguzo Sabas is what they are called, the seven principles of Kwanzaa. And on the one picture I showed you on the right hand side, a woman was lighting a candle. She was lighting the second candle. And each day, Kwanzaa is celebrated 7 days, from December the 26th to January the 1st. And again, in your home, you can buy these candles. And again, we know the Pan-African colors are red, black, and green. Those are my favorite colors. Most of the time you see me out anywhere, I'm always gonna have on red, black, and green. Those are the colors that I salute to. But anyway, you have three red candles, you have a black candle, and you have three green candles. And all three of those candles, you light those on a different day of Kwanzaa. Um, and you can see the names by each other. And you seen on the picture I had on another slide, the woman was actually lighting the second slide. So each day Kwanzaa represents one of the seven principles. Each day, the 7 days of the holidays and the special greetings is given. When a greeting with, you greet Harabari Ghani. What is the news? The answer will be one of the Nguzo Saba, seven principles of blackness. So each day you will give this greeting, Harabari Ghani, which means what is the news? And then your answer would uh the answer will be one of the seven principles of Kwanzaa, the seven principles of blackness. So tomorrow, if somebody greets you tomorrow, Harabari Ghani, you will say Umanji, which means unity. So if you're celebrating in your home, you will greet somebody, and then you will have a discussion around unity in your household. All right, and it's just a picture of a black family here that is actually celebrating Kwanzaa in their own homes. And you can see the young brother here, he is lighting the first candle. He has the first candle here, Umanja, which is unity. So They're celebrating the first day of Kwanzaa, and they have 6 more days to go. As I'm looking at the thing, they have red. They have 3 black candles and one, two, three, four, and I mean 3 red candles and 4 black candles. They may not have any green candles. So work with what you have. But when you're setting up certain things in your household, you will have 3 red candles. If you can find them, 3 red candles, one one black candle and 3 green candles. Decorations. These are some of the decorations you can put on the side. You may want to decorate your table. Again, we know the Pan-African colors of red, black, and green. So you can see you can decorate your tables with the red, black, and green theme. Again, you can your candles, red, 3 red, 1 black, 1 green. The different types of fruits that you may have, because again, we're talking about the first crops or the first fruits and etc. But approximately 1 week before the 26th, the household should receive a good cleaning so as to welcome the positive forces and your Kwanzaa decorations put up and arranged. A red, black, and green color scheme should be dominated, for these are the colors of our nation. Crepe, paper, napkins, tablecloths, dishes, and cups are just a few of the things which can be used in the colors. And again, the color schemes, like red, black, and green, the Pan-African color. Secondly, the main table should have a centerpiece of straw baskets and a Capricorn horn of plenty filled with mixed tropical fruits and vegetables. And you can see these things that they have on the side. Thirdly, either the floor or the low table should be used to table the mikika. The straw mat has been spreaded out. It's just a mat that you put on the floor, placed with the canaro. The canaro are the 7 candle holders. These candle holders, I'm just giving you the names in Swahili. So these are some of the things that you may need in your household if you in the near future want to celebrate Kwanzaa in your house. Um, Thirdly, either the floor or low table should be used. Okay, I did that. The canaro, I did the 7 lamp holders in the center. Then to place the ear of muhude, that is an ear of corn around it. Place the zawada. The zawada is presents. On a certain day of Kwanzaa, you give presents. Nothing too extravagant. Also you want to give something valuable to them, something valuable to their mind, something they can invest, an investment for their mind. Swap out some books. I say for the first before you give or give a sawada. Sawada only means present. Give a book. Give them a book. Give them something that they can invest their mind, and then give them something else. Something that you can afford, and something not too crazy, because we know that during these holidays, a lot of us, well, a lot of them. I'm not gonna say a lot of us, because a lot of them, go in debt. You know what I'm saying, or let bills lag behind. To buy presents, you know what I'm saying? Because it's hyped up and you got to buy the presents, you got to have all these certain things. And we understand that around this time too is the commercializing, you know what I'm saying, the numerous discounts, the numerous flyers and the what's the name around these days are to benefit the corporations. Now a lot of these corporations are in red, so they come out of the red around before the end of the year. They don't want to stay at. They don't want. They come out at the end of the year. They come out of the red. So again, give them something to invest their minds in, and something that you can afford that's not going to really hurt your pockets. On the makika and the arrangement of this artistic. Somebody, mic open. Somebody had some.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you don't mind. The only thing I could give KOFI this year was a picture. You want to talk about that? Or can I?
Go
That
ahead.
picture make the only thing I can give KOFI for all the love he showed me was a picture of McDonald's that said over 1 billion served. And in it, I wrote, don't ever feel discouraged because you may not get as many likes or views as everyone else, because not everybody who has good taste goes to McDonald's. They may not even know where to go for good quality. And
Mm,
compare that to the information and the love and support he shows the community to make him feel that, bro, you are appreciated. That was my gift, was just something as simple as, I appreciate you. You know, a lot of us don't have it yet in life to sit back and give away cars or jewelry, fancy outfits. Some of us, the most we can do is just cook dinner and ask you to come over. And if that's the best you got, just do it from the heart. The children, the best thing they may be able to do is help clean up the house for grandma. And we need to appreciate those little things just as much as the extravagant things in life. So
Yeah.
I'll jump back out.
Oh yeah, and I appreciate that too. And finally, the M Shuma 7 candles should always be placed at the far right of everything else so that they might be available for daily lighting. Another ancient African symbol that can be used in a decoration is the Ankh, which represents the eternal life. So you will see that people may decorate and have the Ankh present in some of their decorations as well. We know Kemet is very popular these days. Following the lighting and the candle, the Kikombu, which means the unity cup, can't forget about the unity cup. It is passed around. The Kikumbu should contain unfermented wine, grape juice. Each person within the circle sips from the cup and says Harabi, which means we are pulling together, which is a powerful statement to me. We are pulling together. And I keep emphasizing we need to come together in unity and sit down and come up with a plan on what we should be doing. What and what I mean by what we should be doing is I think we should come together. I think we'll solve some of our problems. We'll go out and spend $200 on a pair of Jordans, right? $225 on a pair of Jordans, $150. And I'm talking to myself too, because right now that's what my son is into, the Jordans and uh Keyone Irving or whatever the basketball player name. I just spent almost $150 on a pair of Nikes the other day. But I'm talking to myself too. So we spend money on stuff, or we may go out and eat, and I'm speaking for myself too, because I got a big family, me, my son, 2 stepdaughters, my fiance. So most of the time that's who you're gonna see with me. So if I go out, I got 4 other miles plus myself to feed. So the bill may be 80, 90, $100. So we go out and spend money, or we go out and have a good time. Some of us still in the club. Some of us like to come home and have a drink after work. Some of us smoking cigarettes. Some of us smoking herbs. So I mean, we spending money on things. I think if we can, took, if we, just I'll give an example. I'll use Detroit. Detroit is not the only place where you have predominant black people in Atlanta, a few other places. There are I think about maybe 6, and I talk about this in the cooperative economics presentation that I did. But let's use Detroit. If you use Detroit is predominant black, right? And if you get each person in those areas and the surrounding areas in Detroit, because they have the different counties and et cetera, different towns, small towns within Detroit. If everybody came together and said, okay, we're going to pool in someone that we could trust, because I know we have trust issues and it's hard to give somebody some money that we really don't want to give away, or we think we're going to get burned. Even if it's $20, $30, we still subject to not give, because we prone to not trust each other. And I understand why, because I'm not going to say we don't scheme, and we scheme, we get over on our own people at times. We see it a lot in the community now that we call the conscious community, and we still praising and got these individuals on the platform, and we know that they are scheming and lying to the people. But if we pool together and $50 or $100 a month, I said if $100 a month and you had 36, it said 3,600 people that came together, $100. I don't know what that'll be. I'm just my math off, but $100. What's 100? Y'all give me what's $100 times 3,600 people? How much that would be? Whatever that would be, let's just say, and it's far off, but let's just say that was $1 million. Let's just say that was $1 million, right? And those people in the community had ideals. And let's say that one individual want to start a farm, because a lot of us, if they tell us we can't go to the Walmarts or any of their grocery stores anymore, you know, or we can't buy directly off of their farm, then we out of here. You know what I'm saying? So if I wanted to start a farm, found land, I wanted to start a farm, this is how I do it. And plus with the farming, it will employ other people to come work on the farm, because I need a certain amount of people on these acres of land that I have to produce what we're going to need to survive, to sustain ourselves off of, right? So, and a brother may want a doctor office, and another brother may want a school. Another brother may want something else. I'm just giving examples. But we go with the feasible ideal first. The form may be the feasible ideal first. And then after the feasible ideal, it may be, or the feasible ideal may be the school first. It just all depends on what the group wants. So we take that money and we're donating $100 a month, something that we blow anyway. And we accumulate enough money where we're able to purchase 30 acres of land or 20 acres of land, enough money to pay the people for how many people that he's going to need on the acres of land for a year, the material and supply, so he can start teaching and producing things out of the ground for our survival. We could do that. Then we can move on to the next step. Okay, we got the farm. Let's do the school or the grocery store or whatever the case may be, that what we need, and we continue to build. But I say within 2 or 3 years, we can have our own. We can have our own grocery stores. We can have our own schools. We can have our own universities. We can have our own doctor's office. We can have our own police station where we're able to police ourselves, because we know right now the police is policing us. They are attacking most of our youth, and not even our own youth. We don't even feel protected when they come around. Most of the time when we see law enforcement, some of us get scared. I'm not singling out every last policeman, because every last policeman ain't bad, but we see a lot of incidents in our case where a lot of us are being gunned down, killed, um, um, killed on the spot. A lot of us are being arrested for no apparent reason. A lot of us are getting these outrageous sentences and are innocent. So, you know, I think within a few years, if we did something like that, you know, and attack these predominant black towns or predominant black counties or states, then, you know, I think, and continue to attack those predominant areas, I mean, we could build and, you know, begin to have our own. Here is a family here. It's just a family celebrating at home. They getting up, you know, and again, like when you celebrating these things, you know, and again, Harabani Ghani, and whatever the seventh principle may be, you know, you repeat that, the family get around and they just may talk about, you know, talk about that particular seven principle, what they may be thankful for, and other different things. So it's a family event, also a celebration in the household, but you also can participate in the celebration of the festivals. Certain towns actually put those on every year and celebrate every single day of Kwanzaa. Conclusion. Kwanzaa observation on the African continent celebrated the collective efforts of the community at the end of the year. And that is exactly what our ancestors did. Again, we call it Kwanzaa over here. I gave you different names, and I gave you the ethnic groups that actually practice those different, that actually has those festivals and what they do in their different festivals. And you can see how we have incorporated some of those in what we call Kwanzaa here on the United States. And it's nothing but coming together, and those groups of people are working hard to produce something, and at the end of the year they reap the benefits from the harvest. They reap the benefits from their first fruits, from their first crops. They are celebrating them coming together and working hard for a common goal or a collective goal, you know, and it is brought through all of those who had worked collectively for that community to give thanks. and to give thanks for their fruits and their efforts. As I keep explaining throughout the slides, beloved and beautiful family, now we can stop saying Kwanzaa is made up African holiday, and in the truth, it is an African tradition, and the people have been celebrating and putting a festival for their first crop since time immemorial. The families coming together to express their love and respect for each other through song, dance, and food. And I used to be one of those people back in the days. Oh man, it's Kwanzaa is a made up. It's not even a real African tradition or African holidays. And you still may have people that may feel like that and say that it's not a replacement. It's not a Black Christmas. This is something that our people has been going through time immemorial. It is nothing but again people coming together at the end of the year to celebrate their efforts, to celebrate their hard efforts, their hard work that they have put in to reap what they have produced at the end of the year. That's all it is. And that's it, family. You know, I'll do this again next year. I may add something else new uh, in it. You know, if I find something new, which I should have did while ago or earlier that I wanted to do. I had found some research, actually some new research, and Brother Vasa kind of mentioned and talked about Michael Brewer, who hosted the first Kwanzaa celebration in their living room in Oakland, California, that a lot of people don't talk about, and how, you know, Karinga seeing this as well and so forth. And I should have added this. And I said that last year when that information was brought forward, this was after the show that I did, that I was gonna, when I do it this year, I was gonna add it, but I didn't add it. Actually forgot all about it until Brother Vasa mentioned it. Um, mentioned it then, man. But that's all I had. I'm like, here's my sources that I have here. Go cop out some of these good books, some of these articles that I may have. It goes a little bit more thorough in and gives some names of some other different things, decorations that you may have, how you use these decorations, how you decorate these decorations. A little bit more information about Karinga and his organization, and a little bit more background on him as well. So just check out some of them books that I may have up there. Also, you got anything else, man, before I close out? Cause I ain't gonna be on here
You
but
know
a
what?
few more minutes.
You know I do, big bro. You know I do. To speak towards what you said about coming to unity and donating towards each other, not just financial, but time and effort wise. I want to give y'all something to show it can be done. Now, this is just a little bit over 100 years ago. In 1911, Boley, Oklahoma was the largest and wealthiest all Negro city in the world. Not Oklahoma, not the United States, in the world. When Booker T. Washington visited to analyze how this is being done, this was his direct comment of how they accomplished this. They have recovered something of the knack for trade that their foreparents in Africa were famous for. Booker T. Washington, and you can find that in Booker T. Washington's adult education movement.
Hmm. You
And I
say
just
it's
wanted to,
adult. His adult. You say it's adult movie.
no, adult education movement. That's the name of the book.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So, and I want to throw that out because sometimes a lot of us need to see it to believe it. Some of us need to, we need a working example. We have plenty of examples throughout history to show what happens when we stick together. Our
Mm-hmm.
generations get to see what happens when you don't stick together. Look at what's happening when we allow this baby mama, baby daddy social norm to happen. The
Mm-hmm.
babies grow up suffering.
All right.
They lose self-respect. They lose self-esteem. They lose that trust that you was talking about. But when we become mature enough as adults to identify this issue and we address the issue and when we show what love is and trust in one another and how it actually works, imagine how far they're gonna take it, especially with the tools they have now. So I won't get too long-winded,
Yeah,
but
brother
I
Oh,
just
go
want
ahead.
to leave it there.
Yeah, your brother Nahisa, you got anything? I see you still on here, man.
Nah, brother, you did all right, man. I'm just here learning. That's it. I'm just a student tonight.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you, man, joining the panel, man. And family, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. I told you I wasn't gonna try to hold you too long. Um, Again, y'all could have been doing anything else with your time. I know, this is national holiday, and a lot of us are still with our families and doing things with our family, man. But I appreciate those who tuned in. Appreciate those who may come back and look at this small presentation in the archives, man. I want to say Black African Power. I want to say Dua, Duau. I want to say Modupi, and those things that mean thank you, or thank you very much, or appreciate. So we do appreciate you over here on the Master Warrior Clan YouTube channel and Kofi Paisai TV. We'll see you again this Sunday. I don't know where I'm coming at or what presentation I'll be doing. I have a few in the can that I have been working on. I've been um, gone for 2 months, so I hadn't been doing anything, been giving time with the family. So, but I'm back, so I did something Sunday as I promised. I said I was gonna come back and do something during the week while I was off. So I'll be back. I don't know what I'll be doing. I don't know. Maybe I don't know which one I'll be doing, but also be on the lookout for the one me and Brother Ben got coming on the Fataru tradition, the Syrah, a Digitalist tradition. So be on the lookout for that presentation. For the other presentations that actually deal with a lot of the traditional names that I done. Go check out the Igbo indigenous tradition, the Odinani that I did. Go check out the Caribbean tradition where they merged the Akumi system in Ghana, the Voodoo tradition in Togo and Benin, which is called the Winti tradition. Go check that out. Go check out the Akum indigenous traditional system practice in Ghana by the Fun, the U, and a few other ethnic groups. Go check out the four-part series on Ifa that is practiced in Nigeria by the Yoruba people presentation. Man, it's the Chewy people in Malawi in East Africa. Go check out that their indigenous system presentation that I did called the Gulu Wankulu. So go check out those. And I told you I was going to continue to bring you those different traditional names. So you know, you can kind of get away from or do like I do. I don't like the word African spirituality. It was coined here in America by the African American, which is nothing wrong with it, but we have uh, information. I mean, we know how to obtain this type of information now through DNA and etc. in order to know exactly where we come from, which most of us come from West Africa or Central Africa. They know how to narrow it down to the Pacific ethnic group that we belong to now, so we can get away from I'm African, we can get away from African spirituality, and we can say who we are. I can say I'm Ghanese, I can say that I'm Nigerian. Um, um, I can say that my people practice Ifa as well as they practice Akum. So those are two of the systems that my family um, practice, then Akum and Ifa. So we can start calling them by their names and calling us by the direct ethnic group that we belong to and country that we belong to in Africa. But on that note, man, peace again and Black African Power, man, and we'll see y'all Sunday at I don't know what time, but I'm probably gonna go on twice. We'll see. Probably go on Kofi, Paisai TV, and Mossy Warrior Clan. Sunday, we'll see. Maybe another
Kofi,
discussion. Go ahead.
um, can I do one of those? Put one in the chats. Put two for no. If
Oh,
y'all
go
want
ahead.
to expand the what is Black success and have Kofi in there, that way I'm not cussing this time, and I got my brother with me. Press one if you want it. Press two if y'all think it's covered,
Yeah.
so I can put him on the spot because I want to see how he think about it.
Oh, they don't want me to go in. I hate I missed it, man. But the show must go on. But that was a great discussion, man. And for those that may have missed that, go back to Kofi Paisai TV in the archives and check out what is Black success. It was an open discussion headed by Brother Vasa. You had Brother Vasa on the panel. You had Brother Satep and Rob Miriaman on the panel. You had my good brother Sutek on the panel. I'm waiting on that new presentation too, brother Sutek. You've been talking about, brother Sutek. Um, you had you had Sister Juju on the panel. You had brother Sean. I think Sean was on his period though on that day. But you had brother Sean on there. You had Sister Juju who joined the panel. Sister Kayla who joined the panel, and Sister Queen Cheetah. I don't know who that sister was, but she was on the panel. So you had a well-rounded discussion, but and it wasn't just one side that you had the male perspective and you had the female perspective as well. So go check that open discussion out on KOFI PIESIE TV. Again, it is called What is Black Success? And we out of here, man. Peace, and I'll see y'all Sunday, man. Black African Power.